So yeah, we've got Midway versus Kuryu, BSW feeling the way, Montana Conqueror, Montana, fairly standard. Everything looks more or less standard, as you'd expect.
Indeed. Interestingly, we have Moskva Zhao against Hindenburg Zhao, and BSW fielded a Ye Yang as well, as opposed to a Gearing. So things might get a bit hairy for the battleships.
Yeah, so those deep water torpedoes are going to be... They're going to be scary to see coming at you.
Indeed.
Oh, you see them come at
well,
you.
well, the point is that you don't
I'll
see them
hit.
coming, but
Yes. And with the new detection changes on torpedoes, they're even harder to spot by the carrier, so good luck finding them, carrier.
well,
Anyway, Midway versus Hiryu, this is going to be interesting to see if the number of squadrons makes a big difference. Because
yeah,
previously it has.
indeed. Right, so Greek Brothers in Arms. Okay, we're kind of seeing what I initially predicted. We're seeing one Zhao, Greek Shark's just going off and taking a look at A. One of the Gearings, Manos, has laid a course for C, and Viper Sox is moving up. Looks like the BC gap to start with, but I think we'll see him make a port turn once he clears the island in Foxtrot 6. What are BSW up to?
Looks like... kind of hard to tell, but it looks like they're going for BC. They've got a Yue Yang heading over to A, Gearing rushing to B. Looks like we might have Des Moines that's... Okay, he is mine. I thought he was a disconnect there.
Right.
Yeah, looks like majority BC.
Yeah, fighters are
Yue
playing.
Yang's kind of going alone unsupported, so...
Yeah,
That's
a little bit ballsy, but he may be gambling that his fighter cover can keep the detection off him while he grabs the cap. And speaking of fighters,
you got two fighters.
yeah, speaking of which, the fighter squadrons, well, they were being coy, but we've got our first collision OB, and it looks like we're seeing a lock and strafe set up here. Question is Wojak going to see it? Nope, there's the breakaway. Wojak's pulled his own planes out fairly quickly, however. That was a very fast response to the stun.
Very nice, yes.
And he's managed to break away with no strafe, and as a consequence, all three of Minaise Malak's fighters are now locked over the B point, so kind of stalemated there. Viper Sox is smoked up. I think he's looking to tiptoe into B. But right now,
Midway is apparently spotted going for this position. This is a very aggressive position for a Midway to be in.
I see what he's trying to do. I mean, he is basically going to haul himself and park right up against this island. He's going for very fast turnaround. But that's an attack carrier behaviour. It's not a reconnaissance behaviour at all. So I wonder how that's going to work out for him.
And it looks like he's losing the fighter duel over on the towards in the middle of AB.
Yep, it's now 5-2 against him. So 5-1, he can't break away now. So there goes that. Another squadron's barreling in, but possibly too little, too late. And with that squadron out of position, trying. No, it's not. It's not. It's a 3-3-2. And with the fighter out of position, he's going to strike, but he's just run smack into a wall of flak and defensive fire. I don't know what he thought that was going to achieve, but we're seeing attack carrier behaviours. I wonder if Wojak's gone deliberately forward to bait a couple of early strikes into a flak trap.
Oh my god. Goodbye, Zhao.
Yeah. That was spectacular. That was a, 20-kilometre shot, give or take, and looked like multiple citadels.
Yeah, it was in two stages as well. I think the front turrets of the Montana came in, the rear turrets, or vice versa.
Yes.
But, yeah, that was more or less a full health deletion.
Yeah, speaking of the Zhaos, however, Greek Shark is pottering around south of A. Now, Yoya Yang, Vefred, I believe you said, was into N. He's finished the cap unopposed. I don't know if Greek Shark's trying to draw him out, or was just giving Vefred some time to move across into support B before he sneaks in.
He's put some deep water torps as area denial to maybe get lucky on the Zhao, you know.
Maybe, but the other thing is that if Greek Shark can't stop him, then that Yang has got a clear run through to the Hakuryu. Now, Minai Sai has gotten underway, and he is moving, but right now I'd say BSW have got the position advantage, even if they have lost that ship to get it.
Black Sox got spotted in B. He's still in the cap. He's holding for as long as he dare.
Yeah, but
now he's getting reset by Argy.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Also, Montana AP. This might. Oh, no.
He's backing up, so it's foiling the range. But because he hasn't got the linear movement, even the 5-inch guns are able to find him. And yeah, there we go. He's had smoke. He's fixed his engine, and he's abandoning point B. He's not going to do it, but the Yayang's been spotted. Vefred's attempt to sneak through hasn't worked. The question is whether or not Greek Shark's going to be able to clear that island and get a gun solution. And he's definitely looking for it, but unless those dive bombers hold up. Yeah, there we go. He's got the gun solution, and again the Hakuryu is winning the air war. That's another fighter squadron of the Midways that he's about to smack into the ground. Torpedo bombers taking a look from the Midway, not really getting anywhere, and Minal Sai, yeah, and of course the Yang does not carry defensive fire. That's one of the trade-offs it makes against the gearing. So I think what we're going to see here is a cross-drop. Thing is, he's going to have to execute it pretty quickly because the Yang's running for the Montana's flak. LOL-25, they're just moving up.
And the Hindenburg just behind it as well.
Yeah, there's the separation. Now, Vfred's doing exactly the right thing. He's turning in, heading for the Montana, and the Montana's flak has almost shredded the first squadron. There we go, first squadron down, but they did get one fish away. Vefred outrunning it. And, yep, there's defensive fire. So the Hindenburg must have gotten into range as well. And we're going to see a little bit of Liud there, but I don't think it's going to push him into the torpedo. Nope, just scraped away. If anything, that actually did LOL-25 a favour, because the loss of momentum there pushed him off course. And
but that's now got to be careful, because he's going to be pretty heavily outnumbered. He's going to have a Montana and Hindenburg focusing him exclusively.
Yes, and he knows it, which is why he's currently running for the one line. So
takes a bit of a hit there.
Yeah.
Good damage, maybe even a Citadel.
Maybe.
Actually, that can't have been a Citadel, not high enough alpha.
Maybe. It was a pretty solid hit anyway. However, Greek Shark is effectively out of the game at this point. He's going to be a nuisance for the Montana, but there's not a lot he can contribute.
Oh, we'll lose a Des Moines.
Yeah, Pavka
Carrier's a major threat here. The Montana's just going balls to the wall and he's coming out. This Midway, he's probably going to die to the next salvo.
You know, this might be the first time we see a punch-through-sea work.
I think it honestly might be.
Because Volzhak is now realising that he might have made some decisions he has cause to regret. There's a broadside. Ooh, okay, he got away with that one. He's angled. And, okay, Midways are actually...
He's not going far.
Yeah, Midways are respectably tough, but I think it was gambling that his surface team would be able to hold down point C. And on
both Montanas are here as well.
On past performance, that was a sound assumption. But, it's not working out this time.
Oh, Lenovo's going to go down as well. He's out in the open. The gearing smoke's obviously gone out. There's got Moyne and Mosfet looking at him. Mosfet's going to finish him.
Olzaver's in trouble as well. He's on fire. Multiple burns. Damcon may have gone. Killing Machine takes a broadside but soaks it. Oh, well, okay, doesn't quite soak it on the belt.
And Olzaver's on his salvo.
Yeah, he's dead. Those torpedoes are going to catch him. Yeah, that's farewell to that Conqueror. The new boat button's not going to get you out of that one, mate. Volzhak is running, but with nothing else right now.
Montana gets him.
There we go. And that just...
coming in. Going to be uninterrupted on the gearing in Yue Yang.
Yes, and with no air cover at this point, those Hakuryu bombers can just... Well, they can't quite loiter over the gearing because, of course, defensive fire and a pretty decent flak setup if he's rigged that way. But they can definitely have a go. And if they can herd the destroyers off into the islands... In fact, if they can collide the destroyers, which they're going to... But there's the defensive fire from the gearing.
I think they're currently being radars, maybe?
No, there's no radar at the moment, but the air spots in the trick. However, one hit there on the Yang. I mean... This is the thing about defensive fire. Yeah, it panics, but when you're dropping 12 torpedoes onto a target, at that kind of distance, shotgun effect means you might still connect something. However, point B is swinging, and at this point, I think GBOAN have pretty much done enough. There goes point B.
Yeah, I don't think there's any real way they can get this back. I mean, Burns still have a full health Montana.
And they've still got a very healthy Des Moines as well. The Hakuyu has... Well, he's probably lost about half his bombers at this rate, but unless that Hindenburg's got his defensive fire back, then they can just prosecute a strike. And of course, Hayek's barrage at this point will be knocking down both ships' flak. So the damage per minute won't be there. Well, I think we just saw how to make point C work on this map.
I think we really did, yeah. The double battleship push. You got so much heavy firepower and armor there that you can soak enough damage and keep moving forward.
Absolutely. And I think the fact that they just went all in as well. BSW were expecting a more traditional half-and-half deployment, and that might have worked, but when you do a... What was that? A 75-25 split between B and C? I mean, that B-Force destroyer and a cruiser or two was really just a blocking element. And it didn't even matter if they didn't block it, they just had to tie up the enemy fleet for a bit, while the main element just went straight through C at full speed.
Yeah.
And, well, let me see.
Baltic's just going to get torn.
Baltic, yeah, one on the nose, high explosive rain. Now that will have flooded him out. And has he got damcon?
No, he doesn't.
No. And boom, there we go, straight through the nose from the Montana, which just leaves...
Good shot from Killing Machine on Lol 25.
Indeed. Lol 25 is looking for shots on the Des Moines, but honestly, they've got the Hindenburg, they've got the Moskva. If you can take out D-Bird...
wanting some of the action.
Yeah. And with the amount of high explosive...
Still lurking around back there.
Oh, and that might be a bonus. V-Fred's laying some smoke, but in the course of it, well, he's not done enough. There's the torpedo drop. Oh, this is going to... That's a kill shot. Boom, 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 boom,
Although
boom.
Clemson, smartly, he's ducking in behind the corpse of Montana, so he didn't have to worry about them.
Yes. I must admit, I would have been tempted to swing the strike
Oh, Killing Machine gets hit hard by the deep water torps. And flooding if there was any, though, so he's going to live just.
Yeah. But
Gearing's trying to fish him off. Oh,
all it needs is that one fire, but... Ooh.
Gearing torps nailed him.
Gearing torps into the smoke. Nope. And with the dive bombers looking, it's really just poor V-Fred left there holding down the fort.
He wants that Montana kill. He wants to kill that Montana, and he gets him.
Boom. Well, I suppose that's some consolation, but wow, that was instructional. I have never ever seen point C work like that before.
Yeah, that was great. That's exactly what they do. I mean, there wasn't really much force contesting C from the north here, from BSW, which might have been a bit of a mistake. It looks like they were going to have like virtually nothing on A, just have the lone destroyer and just cap that passive point gain. Hope the enemy team didn't as well, and then focus B, C. But then they seem to pull everything over to A, thinking, okay, now we can go for the flank pick. But they pulled pretty much everything away, and just left, well, essentially the Midway and the Des Moines to die for free against the full force of GBOAN.
That surprised me as well. I mean, once they realised that it was just the one Zhao over there, you thought they'd have just left the Yang to finish the job with maybe some fighter cover, and slammed everything into B, and again left C as a delaying action. Very aggressive move from the carrier on his positioning. Like I said, that's strike carrier behaviour, not reconnaissance behaviour, getting that far forward. Because it lets you... I do it a lot of the time in cargo and randoms. It lets you cycle your bombers really, really quickly. But that's not what you really want in a competitive game. You want uptime, yes, but it's not about the damage. You're looking...
No, carriers are not a damage source competitor. I mean, yes, if you can find a lone target, they're perfect for picking them off, but it's King of the Sea. Everyone's going to be running an AA build. Every cruiser has phenomenal AA. Even the quote-unquote weak ones, like Marie and Zhao, they're still packing such a heavy arm
Yes.
Battleships aren't slouching either. Destroyers aren't even slouching, thanks to gearing.
Well, a lot of the destroyers aren't slouching. There's always Shimikaze.
Well,
I guess why we don't see many Shimikazes in these tournaments, guys.
yes.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, classic attack carrier behaviour, but not for this metagame.
Yeah, competitive carriers are very much randoms. We even saw that at Tier 8, when Tier 8 was a competitive team for C. It was same thing. Shikaku, you went with Shikaku because you had so much air pack. You had so many planes up. It's like, yes, you have a deep strike package, but you don't need the strike.
Yeah.
Tier 8's a little easier to strike, so there's not as many AA, but so Zovs, Cals, that still pack hella good AA.
Yeah, and it's, of course, your planes are squishier as well. Yeah, it's just the change of the meta, really. Carriers are not there to farm up damage totals. You're not there as an individual, like you are in randoms to an extent. You are there to enable the rest of your team. And that is, and of course, to protect them against enemy spotting, and that's why the air superiority builds, and Shokaku in particular, are so potent. And that's why she tends to dominate.
Especially Haku's 422, it's like, there you go, you've got all the fight control in the world that you... And you've got 8 squadrons up still. The dive bombers make perfect scouts.
Oh god, yes. So someone pointed out in the chat, an empty Hakuru dive bomber right now is the fastest thing in the game. Well, except for a newly launched shell, but we don't count those. They can't do reconnaissance.
Yes. Well, yes. Star shells.
Well, those aren't modelled yet, and I was thinking more of the fluke railgun hits that appear in so many montages, but those aren't really reliable. But yeah, that is why you need a carrier in competitive, and we've seen it demonstrated several ways so far this afternoon. So, teams are gearing up. It is 1-0 to GBOAN. BSW again on the back foot, looking to come back and take it 1-1 and hopefully 2-1. And bear in mind, this is their second game, so if they lose this one, they are in danger of being eliminated. So there is quite a lot to play for now. So, just waiting for the teams to sort themselves out. Not seeing any lineup changes on Greek Brotherhood of Arms. Greek Brothers of Arms
so far, but haven't got everyone locked in yet.
No. Loop, of course, similar to the previous map in many ways, but it's more evenly spread on the islands. There is still that large open area on the left-hand side. C's relatively devoid of cover as well. The fighting tends to go around B.
Yes. Because there is a couple of spots there you can stick a Des Moines or even a Mother and have total radar coverage. Pretty much radar the enemy spot as well. It's just a case of who can duck and cover quicker.
And more to the point, who has teammates in a better position to provide fire on
That's
that
where you want your
information.
We saw it for the push through on C on that map, where they have both battleships in the same position. And that works for a concerted push, but ideally what we see some of the top clans do the later stages in the C5, we saw top teams like Omni and OM and Wargaming Pay to Win, they have their 2 battleships on each side. That way they've got a cross. And having the crossfire means, well, at that point, one of the battleships probably has a shot.
Yeah. I think it's a question of time, place, and role within the team. You either use your battleships as that kind of heavy fire support, so you want to spread them out, you want multiple angles of fire coming down, or you want to use them as riot shields. In which case you group them up, point them both at the same objective, head down, bull in, and basically make a hole for the cruisers.
If you are... Obviously, you can't know immediately on the match whether you're going to be doing such a tactic. It's very much what the enemy team does. But if you were to pre-plan for that tactic, that's where something like a Kerfuffle would come in. It can soak damage. It has HE resilient armor, which is very, very important. So if you're specifically going for that tactic, that's where that ship would come in. If you're going for the more traditional battleships, that's why we see so many Montanas. It is just fantastic gunplay. Its armor's good. It can soak damage when it needs to. as we saw, but it's all about the guns of Montana. That's why I favoured her so much.
Yeah, and multi-point, Monty's got the flexibility. Kurfürst, superlative tank. Yamato is superlative fire support. Conqueror is just annoying as all hell. But Montana can do it all to a reasonable degree. It's not the best at anything, but it does all the battleship jobs second or third. And that, I think, is what makes it the choice for a lot of teams in competitive. Anyhow, match is a go. Let's see how this second round goes. Remember, BSW at this point fighting to save the game.
So the one change we have is we've ditched the Montana. We now have a Republique. So Zals, Des Moines, watch out the 30 mil overmatch.
Yes, and of course it's worth noting that this is Republique's first appearance in King of the Sea. She wasn't in the game for King of the Sea 5, if memory serves.
Yeah, so I was curious because group stages, I imagined people would experiment with things, but also because it's group stages, less experienced teams and less experienced players potentially. So how many people would actually own a Republic?
Well, I don't think it's so much owning a Republique. I think it's more a question of, as you say, just going with what you've got. The French battleships have been popular.
Yeah, and fully deservingly. The most of that line is very, very nice.
Yes.
Republic, she has her place. Like, that 30 mil overmatch is quite important. And the Zals, for example, when Zals are kiting away from Montana, for example, they have that 30 mil armor, which means they can get away with some pretty absurd stuff. Playing Zao in randoms, I know that. There's some salvos where I'm just like, I should not be alive.
Yes.
But versus the Republic, you're not getting away with it. It hits your hull, anything that's not turret or main belt, it's going to pen you.
Yeah, and of course it's also got that blistering rate of fire as well.
Yes, with main battery mod 3, it comes down to 21.1 seconds, if memory serves.
Give or take, and then you stack
So
adrenaline
it puts out
rush
as
on
many
that.
shells as a Montana does.
Yep. However, let's see. Okay, interesting deployment from the Greeks here. They've got one gearing pushing on C, one on B, a Des Moines moving south to the usual radar spot at Echo 5, and it looks like their Zals are actually running out towards A.
A bit of a traffic jam on our side, so we'll see in a second what's going on. Looks like no interest in C whatsoever. Not a single ship even thinking about it.
Okay, well,
I think we might... Okay, late connection from Novo. He's in now, though.
Okay, right.
Possibly.
Maybe. Okay, well, Haku's torpedo bombs are having an early look, and they've got the attention of the fighters as well, so not really a surprise there. Ouch, nice strafe there. Yep. And the other bombers left legging it. However, destroyer into point B, so
Yeah,
Viper has once again had to start playing it cautious. He's smoked up. He's just tiptoeing into B to block the cap.
Yeah. Well, deep water torps coming in, so not
he doesn't have to worry about those, but the Des Moines behind him might.
How far has that Des Moines poked out from that island?
Probably not far enough for Wilfred's liking. And there's the smoke now, of course. There's the radar.
Oh,
D-Bird, Viper's opening up. Yeah.
He might be...
Yeah.
And... Oh no.
Oh boy. Torpedo beats. Nope. 1, 2, straight under the gearing and... Ooh. Ouch.
Conqueror HE says hello.
Yeah. And 3 deep waters. Viper Socks just sitting there thanking his lucky stars that he's in a destroyer.
And Lefred only sacrificed, well, less than 3,000 health to get all that going. That was brilliant.
Yeah. Of course, what really gave it away there was the Des Moines 8-inch. When he pulled the trigger, Wilfred spotted, and, well, the rest is history. But those torpedoes were just down the expected lane. Yeah.
You kind of got to expect torpedoes at that point. You know there's a destroyer in B.
Yeah.
You know, you've given your position away with the smokes, so you know they know some. So you know torpedoes are instantly going to be coming away. You'd think.
I don't think it's so much that as that's such a classic radar spot that you know there's going to be a cruiser parked there. And
Well,
if
yeah.
he gets a bit greedy and pokes his head out, that's what happens. Anyhow, air group's taking a hard look at B. Fighter support's in play, and oh, there we go. Oh, the strafe coming in now. Can he get his fighters out the way? Yep, no effect. There's his. Here comes the back strafe, and they've both locked into dogfights. Now we're going to see a strafe lock. Yeah, strafe into dive bombs across the Midway's fighters as well. Okay, 5-4 lock. We're gonna see. Yep, we're gonna see another strafe lock here, but oh. The Midway's fighters broke away first, and Mid-Air side managed to cancel his own strafe just in time, but the Midway's second fighter squadron heads on station, sacrifices his own squadron. Completely
He's parked
logical.
directly above the gearing.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to...
Strafes out and takes out that fighter that was coming to support, though. That was good.
Probably doesn't want to stay there, so he's just... No, he is actually offering battle. Wow. He's probably figuring that he can do a 4-on-2 pretty quickly and get torpedo bombers onto the gearing. But
he does have Yue Yang helping him out a little bit.
Yeah, but that gearing is about to pop his defensive fire, which is going to swing the odds
Here come door bombers.
pretty considerably. It's 4-on-1. Torpedoes are running for the gearing. Now, the question is, have we had a defensive fire? And
all the gearing torpedoes have been spotted by those torp bombers, so those aren't
going to hit anything. I mean, it's more depression. Okay,
well,
there's
actually,
one launch. There's the cross drop.
Novo took a big hit from Montana there. He's going to have to back it.
Yep. But Viper Sox, thanks to that panic second drop, is clear and away. Now, BSW at the moment have got 2 points to 1 up, and they're 130 points ahead. They're also slightly ahead on health, and most of their forces in A. Ozawa's soaking most of the incoming fire at the moment. Montana having a look. Ozawa there. Brace. Ouch, that hurt. But, well, he's got the new boat button on standby if he needs it. Torpedo bombers incoming as well. But the question is, has Ozawa...
new boat button. Here comes a drop.
Yeah, has Ozawa lost enough flak to make a difference? Well, that's
no defensive fire either.
6 in the water. It's turning, but I think he's going to eat...
5.
Yeah, 5 on that. 1, 2, 3...
Or maybe
5. Okay, now the question is, has he got Damcom? Because now he's probably flooding and he's burning.
No.
Oh dear. And he's popped his new boat button. That may be the end for Ozawa.
Got a salve on the Zao. Is he going to get anything for it?
Boom.
So.
There goes the Conqueror. That's how you beat the new boat button, of course. Just pile so much damage on that the repair just can't cope.
I think BSW are in quite serious trouble here because whilst they do have very much majority control of A and they do still hold B, their positioning is not great because they've got the 2 Zals working in conjunction to spam HE upon everything that's in A.
Yeah.
And then you've got big heavy hitters of Hannah in D6, and then you've got another one working his way around by G7.
Yeah, and more to the point.
Circle.
And more to the point, with the 2 Zals working away at long range, every time they switch fire over to cover those 2, they're taking their pressure off the main elements. So at the moment, I think the Greeks are quite happy to sit back and play the attrition game and just try and take point B later on. Of course, that's not without its risks.
Nova's in serious trouble. If Brain Bomb gets another salvo off against Nova, he might go down. It's angling up a bit, so he'll survive the worst of it, but here comes that salvo now. 37 to 25.
Yeah.
Decent, but...
Lowell manages to avoid the torpedoes in his Des Moines. However, he's out of smoke at the moment, even if he is getting cover from one of the destroyers. And Vefred again using good team play there, but with aircraft overhead, that smoke's basically making no difference.
He's still backing up, that's why. He didn't stop backing up, so the smoke just reversed out.
Absolutely, and Vefred in randoms would probably be entitled to feel a little annoyed about that, but perhaps it's a good thing he did back up, because, hey, torpedoes were incoming. Now, if he goes forwards a bit, he might be able to take advantage. And he's going to have to do it now, because there's a Montana coming around the corner. And the air spotting still has him honest.
And the Nova can't back up anymore. He's now hitting an island, so going to have to go forward.
Yeah, the question is, well, one, has he realised it? Well, he has now. His collision alarm's going to be going off.
Yeah.
Problem is, with torpedoes coming down, if he does go forward at this point...
Carrier's having a look.
Yeah, Carrier's having a look. Manos had a look as well with his torpedoes.
Oh, here they come.
There's a movement, but of course the Moskva potentially packing defensive fire. Nope, that's not bad.
Active.
Oh
That's
dear, that's a kill. Yeah, maybe 1, 2, 3. Nope, he's not quite dead. Snap Damcon, but right now he is. Well,
that's
he's...
352 health more than he needs at least. So
yeah,
he's still in the game.
Well, not for much longer. Oh wait, no, he's still in the game. That's only 5-inch high explosive.
56. We're almost there.
Come on.
Almost there.
And Manos at this point probably just screaming with rage. Oh, there's the repair party, but the Montana's got him. Manos probably feeling very, very annoyed at this point. However, with the Yang visible, Killing Machine is turning away and diving for cover against torpedoes. He's going to be smelling deep waters at this point. And of course, if he goes round this corner, he is not only helping capping B, but he's going to force Pavka straight off the control point. And Pavka's already backing up. Yeah. Up close and personal with the Montana is not really somewhere you want to be with a cruiser.
Yeah, so Manos in the gearing has been radared by the Des Moines, I believe. Still see backing up. He's got hard cover now, so he's fine.
Yeah, so he's not...
Killing Machine's got some deep waters coming, but I think he's outrun them already.
I think he might have done. The fact that he was already moving hard for that island gave him the angle, but...
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah, and as expected, the Greeks have traded quite a lot of health to get that push into B, but they've managed to make it count.
The Republic of Terror is incredibly low. I'm not sure what he's been taking so far, but he's incredibly low, and I think, yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, there he goes. And also one of the Zows has been taken out as well.
Yeah, Gearing finally gets him. This Gearing's been chasing those two Zows the entire game, which is somewhat questionable. I would think having the Gearings closer towards the main points or the battleships would be better, but those Zows are correct. They need to go on, otherwise...
Yes, and the only ship that could really close them down because of that 35 knot speed plus that they carry on the Zao was going to be the Gearing. I mean,
Killing Machine just rounded the corner and executed the Des Moines there. Nothing can be done about that one.
Yeah, like I said...
12 bombs coming in, though. Killing Machine's going to take a bit of damage here.
Yep. One Sour coming in. He's going to eat all 4 there.
All 4 from there.
3 from the other side. No, that's going to be 2. It's probably not going to be enough, but it's going to leave him hurting. But they all hit belt, I think. So, either no flooding or he was very quick on the Damcon. Could be either. In
Midway
all honesty.
getting struck by the Kiryu.
Yes, and what's
actually didn't get a couple.
Well, defensive fire in. That's kind of the point, but it's... I think that's very much the case of for want of anything better to hit.
It's good 20k though.
Yeah,
can't complain about that.
Absolutely,
and
more to the
vital at this point, but
and more to the point, it'll have shaken Vorjak a little, so he'll now be a bit more paranoid. Must admit, by the book, you'd have cross-dropped on the Gearing instead in the smoke, but well, the F3s are in the water there, straight through the cloud. Didn't hit anything, but Greek Shark's looking. Unfortunately, Greek Shark is also...
He got spotted by the plane as he's trying to push through smoke. So.
Indeed, and Greek Shark, I think, is a... he's slammed on the brakes, he's started turning, but I don't think he's got enough way to clear that torpedo. He's going to eat that.
So he's not in the game. Just dive free here, I think.
Boom. Greek Shark goes down, so the game did actually kill both of those Zows. You might well argue, however, that that's too little too late, but at least Vorjak is safely behind cover. Unfortunately, it is too little too late because, yeah, ouch.
Yeah, that Gearing's not in any position to try and get points back at this stage, so whilst those Zows need to die, definitely a case for that, but I'd have thought sending a Gearing to deal with them, ideal.
Well, the only other real option was either long-range battleship fire or diverting the bombers to deal with them. And with overlapping
Because playing
flak
well, the battleship.
and rolling defensive AA, honestly, the destroyer was probably the least worst option. Because rolling defensive AA means you'd never get an airstrike through with the numbers to count. And a battleship, they'd probably just burn it.
Yeah. Dealing with 2 Zows on the flank like that, be the only thing worse is maybe having an Henri there as well for even more speed.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Henri yet this from our side, so
No.
I hope someone fields it. I love that ship.
Yes. The other ship, of course, that we haven't seen much of is the Khabarovsk. And that's the other thing you might use to chase down a couple of errant Zows. Or a Grozhikov.
Well,
it's got the speed to get position.
Yeah.
And it has still got 10-kilometer torpedoes. But speaking of torpedoes, Killing Machine is in trouble.
There he goes. Pulled one back.
Yep, pulled one back,
no
but...
Yay.
Yeah, and unfortunately with the Hakuryu's fighters in the air, second torpedo squadron's looking at that gearing, but he's already turning in, so these are... Actually, no, those might arm. It's a good drop. It takes one.
Solid hit. Dive bombers next.
Dive bombers will have a look, of course, and he is flooding as well, so he's holding his Damcon moment. There's one solid hit. And it's forced his Damcon. So second bomb's coming in, but fighters are looking. They'll be looking for disruption at this point. I tell a lie.
Works.
Yeah, missed completely.
Clemson in the gearing, that's what we'll say.
Not got much left here, and that's probably going to reduce what little he's got. Yep.
And that's game.
And that's
points.
game. So, GBOAN take it 2-0.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not... I think the thing that kind of took that one was having the 2 Zows on the flank. They were getting so much free damage, burning dam, setting fires, and just generally being a damn nuisance more than anything. That it took the gearing away to deal with them, and it took so long to get rid of them. The game had already been over by the time they'd gone. That the main force had pushed through C, pushed through B, and yeah, they were completely encircled again.
Yeah, what's worth noting is that the gearing initially set his course on the assumption they were going to try an end run around the back and go for the carrier, and they didn't do that. They reversed course midway, so they were sailing east for quite a good chunk of that fight while they were being a nuisance. And that meant the gearing was hilariously out of position. He couldn't get torpedoes onto them. And he was trying to chase them down at a relative speed of about 2 or 3 knots, given the speed difference between a gearing and a Zao. And that's why it just took him so long to get position for a kill shot. And okay, he did it, but by that point the damage was done. Problem is, with the alternatives they had, they didn't really have a better choice. If they dispatched a battleship, then that's a good chunk of their heavy firepower gone, and the Zao are probably just going to burn and torpedo it into oblivion while they're retreating, because they can run away, it doesn't matter, they're doing their job. And the carrier, well, rolling defensive AA and a pair of tier 10 cruisers overlapping, no.